Hi guys, I know I've been gone for a few weeks and there is a reason for it. As you saw from the title, there's obviously something that has went on. So I'm gonna try to respect my mother's privacy while trying to tell what happened and then what God taught me in this. So um, a little bit ago, my mom was in the hospital for one reason, and I'm not gonna say what that reason is, but they sent her home. And then I thought, I'll just drive down to Chicago, see how she's doing, set everything up, and then go. So she called me on a Friday, letting me know what all was going on. She was admitted into the hospital on Friday. She was discharged by Monday. So I figured I'm going to go down on Wednesday, just check and see how she's doing, make sure everything's okay, and then come back by Friday to work. But that didn't happen. When I got there on Wednesday, she was having all these issues and all these complications. So we went to her doctor on Thursday. She got readmitted into the hospital. And come to find out, she was basically dying right in front of me. Now this I will say, she had internal bleeding. Um, and it was very serious. It's a scary thing to realize that not only is a person literally dying in front of you, but it is your parent who is dying in front of you. And one thing the doctor did say, which I'm sure she's comfortable with me sharing, she lost 3/4 of the blood in her body. So if we didn't get her to the hospital when they did, it's a very strong possibility she would have died. And it brings a whole new perspective, because if you saw my Father's Day video, which I'll link below, I lost my father back, and I believe it when I was back in 2004, I believe it was. So I literally only have one parent, and that is a scary thing. And of course, me in crisis jumping into like, okay, what can we do? How can we fix this? I actually broke down to my sister, which no one really knew about that but my sister, because it was a scary thought when my thoughts started settling. And it's like, there's a real possibility that my mother could die while I'm here. And it's a scary thing to think about. So after all this was said and done, she was feeling better. Actually came back to Minnesota. Then I started working like crazy to make up for the pay that I missed. But she's fine now. If you think about it, just pray for her, because she's still having little residuals. She's getting back to her routine. But again, when you've lost most of the blood in your body, um, it's a little hard to get back on track, especially when you're older. And that made me realize a couple things. One thing is, our life is but a vapor. And let me find my verse that I had. Um, in James 4:14, it says, "Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appears for a little while and then vanish away." So if you don't know what a vapor is, I mean, think about the little vapors that come off of hot water, or if you have those little automatic spray things, like that vapor is like that. And it may seem like our lives are long, because you might live to be 70, 80, 120. I don't know who the oldest person in the world was, other than Methuselah, was 900. But even in that case, when you think of eternity, and when you think whatever you believe about the age of the earth, okay, I believe it's a young earth. I believe it's like 6 to 10,000 years old from evidence that I've seen. So whether you think it's billions of years old, or you think it's only 6,000 years old, or whatever, still, with your little bitty life, that is a vapor. It is very, very small, and it can vanish like that. When you look at the span of eternity, it's really a short vapor. So I said all that to say, it made me realize that I really need to be careful with the relationships that I keep. Life is too short to be, and I'm not talking to married couples, seek marriage counseling, but I'm just saying, in a lot of aspects, life is too short to be dealing with a whole bunch of drama and crazy things. Um, you were put on this earth because God has a purpose for you. And whatever that purpose is, we need to be fulfilling it. Because again, the time is short. There are people that are literally dying and going to hell every single day because they chose to reject Jesus. And they chose to reject the free gift of salvation that Christ gives. So there are people who are dying and going to hell all the time. And, God put us on this earth to fulfill our purpose, but also to be able to be a light to others and fulfill our purpose. So that might be your purpose, might be to be a doctor, and the Lord wants you to be the most godly doctor, to guide people to him, or God puts in situations to witness to people so they can hear the gospel. Or you could be a godly garbage collector, a godly teacher, a godly receptionist. I mean, it doesn't matter. God wants us to be a light because people's lives are short. I have literally had in the last 2 years several people that I went to high school with that are no longer on this earth. Um, and it's just amazing. I just talked to my friend Stephanie the other day, and she was telling me one of the guys he went to school with was murdered by someone he was dating. And his life was gone like that. His life was gone like that. And our life is so short. So fulfill your purpose. Life is too short to be miserable. So if you're in a job that you don't like and you pray about it and God's telling you leave that job, get another one before you leave. Life is too short. Repair those relationships that are strained, or let go of relationships that are bad. I'm actually reevaluating a couple of friendships that I have because in retrospect, I love them, but it kind of drains me a little bit. So I'm really evaluating that friendship because it's like, do I want to waste my time with these people, or do I want to put my time and energy and my God-given talent toward people who we can encourage each other and be a blessing to each other versus feeling drained and horrible when I'm done being around them. So that's another thing. Another verse I wanted to also share. The first was James 4:14. And then Proverbs 27 verse 1. It says, boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. So we always say we'll do stuff tomorrow. According to this verse, Proverbs 27:1, we are not guaranteed tomorrow. My mom was not guaranteed to live another day. If God had took her home, so mom got saved, thank God, Mother's Day in 2007, if God decided to take her home, God never promised us to live a long life in the sense of we'll live to be 100 and be super healthy. God never promised that. God promised he would be with us and that he would guide us and we would have the most joyful life if we follow him and follow what he says. So these things that you're putting off till tomorrow, I would suggest not doing that. That made me realize like anything could happen to me, and your job is just going to go ahead and fill that void. People that are going to miss you are your families and your friends. And that's one thing I'm trying to get my son to understand. And I'm speaking to everyone who does this. He's so busy, and we all do this. We all get so busy with work and with our lives and make sure our homes are clean and getting car repairs and stuff that we don't make time to do things that God wants us to do. And also we don't make enough time for people who we care about. So I've seen so many people at funerals like, oh my goodness, I wish I had told them that I love them, and I wish I told them how wonderful they are and how fulfilling they make my life. Actually, when I went to Chicago for my mom's issue, I met up with my aunt Connie, and I told her like how wonderful and meaningful she is in my life and how she has been an amazing advocate for me. And I've been trying to compliment people more and just tell them how I feel more about them, because I am not guaranteed to live. I could turn off this video and God could decide to take me home like that, and I'm not guaranteed the next moment. So my suggestion is don't put off things you can do today till tomorrow. Also, be sure you're fulfilling what God wants you to do, because that's always going to bring the most joy. Share your light. Be sure to love on others like God wants us to. Another thing that I do want to say as well is this hustle culture. This hustle culture is not it, because a lot of times it's taken away. We need to have a lot more work-life balances, because again, tomorrow is not promised. Your job will fill your role. They'll say, oops, say a prayer for Sandy, she died, and then have your job up online the next minute. So be sure to cultivate those important relationships, especially your relationship with God. If you do not know right now, if you were to die right now, that you would go to heaven, I'm going to link a video for you to watch. And I'm not saying, oh, I'm going to heaven because I'm a good person, or I've done good things, or I've been baptized in a church. The Bible does not promise anywhere that when you do those things, you're guaranteed heaven. There's only one way to get to heaven, and that's accepting the free gift of salvation. And that's coming to the knowledge that you cannot save yourself. Only Christ can save you, and asking for that free gift. But I have a more detailed video that I'm going to link below. I hope you guys have a great day. I appreciate if you're praying for my mom. Please continue to do that because she's slowly getting her strength back. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. There's one thing that I forgot when I was watching the video back to edit it, and that's be sure that your assets are taken care of. I know it's a morbid thought, but it's something we all need to think about. So be sure that you have life insurance. Term life insurance is better than whole life for several reasons. So be sure you have life insurance. It doesn't matter how young you are, you need to have it because, again, God does not promise that you'll live a long life. You can die at 20. I've known people to die at 20. I've known people to die at 17 and 18. So if you're of age, be sure you have life insurance. Also, Legalzoom is a really good resource to make sure that all of your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. That's just like, heaven forbid if my mom did pass away at that time. She does have her power of attorney, healthcare directive, will, and all the other things that she needed. Everything's in place. So unfortunately, if she did pass away, we would have known what to do, and it's legally bounded. Legalzoom, I don't think it costs more than $500 because she had to do a couple things because she has a house and bank accounts and everything. But again, I know it's a morbid thing. It's something that I'm working on, is getting my stuff together. So if something were to happen to me, my family knows what to do. Legalzoom is really great because you get to talk to a lawyer, and the lawyer explains what you need. You might not need all the things that my mom needed, so it'll be less for you, but you might need more than what she has set up. So it all depends. Just be sure that you're taking care of that. Again, we are not promised tomorrow. So Legalzoom is a great resource. I encourage you strongly not to DIY this because things can go into, I think it's called probate, depending on what your assets are. So if you have anything that belongs to you, even if it's a bank account with $100 in it, you need to be putting beneficiaries and stuff on that. If you want to know more about that, let me know below, and I could try to do a video because I do have some knowledge about that. Again, be sure you have life insurance. Be sure that your assets are protected in case the Lord decides to take you home, so then your family's not having all that tension. And that is all I wanted to say, guys. I'm sorry this is a little down video, but it's very serious for people to have all these things in order and know these different things about family and friends. So I'll talk to you guys later.